Everyone, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance. Okay, but next we have roll call. So we're gonna have to do a verbal roll call. My screen is not working, so.
Counselor Jackie Vigil,
Present.
Counselor Hensley,
Present.
Counselor Carson,
Present.
Mayor Coleman,
Here.
Counselor Jan Vigil,
Here.
Counselor Krebs,
Present.
Counselor Dominguez.
Present. Yep. Okay.
All counselors are present and a quorum has been declared.
Okay, thank you. Looks like we may have to do it manually until we get it working properly. All right. The next item on the agenda is the agenda approval. Councilor Jan Vigil,
Mayor, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, we're gonna have to do a verbal vote.
Okay. Counselor Jackie Vigil, Counselor Hensley.
Yes.
Counselor Carson,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Jan Vigil,
Yes.
Counselor Krebs,
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez.
Yes.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is citizen comments. This is the segment of the agenda to where we have any citizens who are here and present or those who are online who would like to make any comments. We usually receive these comment cards ahead of time and we'll have you come up to the podium. We do ask that you keep your comments to within 3 minutes and we time the comments. If you're still talking at the 3-minute mark, I will politely ask you to stop talking at that time so that we can be fair to all the other people who are going to be speaking either who are present or either on Zoom. We also practice civility here to where we're mindful and thoughtful of others who are speaking during citizen comments. And council, we don't respond with any comments after citizen comment section is over. However, if you bring up a question that you may have a concern with, our legal team and also our city manager right after our council comments section, they will most of the time follow up and give us a follow-up on the questions that were presented during that time. I have one comment card and it's from Jerry and Don Honeycutt with Honeycutt Rodeo. If you all would come up to the podium up here, you and your team. Okay, oh, thank you.
Don't start the time till I start talking.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tish.
I'd just like to comment on the rodeo, the Alamosa Roundup, Demolition Derby, Ranch Rodeo, mutton busting and stuff that we just got finished with. And it was a great success and they set an arena record in the bronc riding this year and it's just continually growing. And thanks to all you guys' help and stuff. Anyway, it was a great rodeo and well attended and great crowds. And anyway, it was just all around great deal. I'd like to especially start thanking Jeremy and all his crew for what they do out there. They get the rodeo grounds cleaned up and and rock and roll and set up the tents, and they brought us the stage. And anyway, Jeremy does a really good job. And then his guys would come help pick up trash, you know, on Sundays or the day after our events and stuff. And that's really appreciated from Don and I and the rest of the committee. And this is Tish Caton at the end. She is part of the rodeo committee on the Alamosa Roundup. Tammy Plain and her husband, bless his heart, is kind of the meat and potatoes of what I'm going to get to tonight. But and then my wife, Dawn Honeycutt, she heads everything up. And anyway, the Alamosa Roundup's grown to over, it's over $150,000 nut to crack now. It's grown to astronomical levels. It is a great PRCA rodeo. Alamosa gets national exposure on the Cowboy Channel. It's just grown. The growth has been tremendous. The last economic development that the rodeo did, Mrs. Hensley knows about it, was like over $1.5 million just on what the rodeo brings to the city. And that was done 10 years ago at a lower growth than we were. And I want you guys to understand, because a lot of you weren't here, other than fixing little things here and maintenance on the rodeo grounds, that rodeo grounds was built in the 80s. My dad orchestrated it. I mean, I'm sure the city paid or the county paid for it, but got it going. Do you know that since almost 40 years now, the only improvements that we've done on that rodeo grounds is a new set of bucking chutes? And that was like $30,000. That's all that the improvements have been done to that rodeo grounds in 40 years. It needs some big time improvements. The electricity, you guys, is not good. And you can read a little bit in there, and I don't have time. I would like to follow up with you. We got to do something with that, okay? The back pins and stuff. Anyway, I'm telling you, the rodeo grounds need some really input and some money put into it. So in cowboy vernacular, it's the only way I'm saying, I'm not being crude, but the city council, everybody, we need to either poop or get off the pot on the rodeo grounds. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's making it really hard for my wife and these guys to put on rodeos with all the stupid generators going and everything like that. It's starting to be a pain in the neck. It really is.
Thank
So
you.
that's all I got to say.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Ariel, I don't have any other comment cards, so we'll go to Zoom. If you could share with the Zoom participants of how to raise their hands so that they can be recognized during this portion.
If you are on the Zoom app and you'd like to speak for citizen comment, you can use the raise your hand feature in the bottom of your screen. Or if you are on the telephone, you can dial *9 and it'll raise your hand as well.
Okay. I don't see any hands raised.
Neither do I, Mayor.
So we'll go ahead and close the citizen comment segment and turn it back over to our city manager and staff for follow-up. Your mic is not on. There you go.
There we go. The light down here was on, but
Okay.
okay, thank you. I don't know if Andy Rice wants to come up. So it's a tough situation. I will point out that there is a significant inaccuracy in here, and it's because you were given misinformation. We were really trying to work with Excel Energy, and I was even part of some of the emails trying to move it up the chain to get a response on the electrical project we had planned for this year, and we could not get the responsiveness that we needed to get. Essentially, we were pulling the funds together and we needed just a cost estimate so then we could move forward with the project. And I still don't even know if we still have a cost estimate from Excel Energy.
Well, the cost estimate's kind of a combo of Excel and then a private electrician that, you know, we've been working with Dawn and Brent from an operation. So we got, it's just the Excel process is slow. We have some application with them. We're waiting for them at this point, but we've been working closely with them to upgrade the electricity. So
I would say it's probably, some of these emails are back 5 months to 6 months or more type of situation.
so it's on our radar. We're working on it. Hopefully this fall we have it wrapped up.
The other is I would just urge the Honeycutts to also share this information with the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. They weigh in a lot on recommendations for the capital improvement program, but obviously, when you only have 200,000 a year to, by the time you buy a vehicle and make an improvement to a facility, 200,000 doesn't even cover a playground type of situation. So I think we've consistently been hearing probably for the last 2 years just how tight that capital improvement budget feels, especially for the Parks and Recreation Committee. And so it is tight funding type of situation, but I know that's usually where we start from a prioritization of that funding that then gets recommended to City Council. Did you want to add anything else, Andy?
No, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for that follow-up. Appreciate that. Okay, that brings us to the next item on the agenda, consent calendar A. Councilor Yanvihill.
Mayor, I move that we approve consent calendar A.
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? If not, please start voting. Okay, Ms. Ariel,
The motion carried unanimously.
thank you. That brings us,
We do have a ceremonial item, the proclamation. It's not on the printed one.
okay,
Point of order, Mayor. We didn't
Yes.
get Jamie Dominguez's vote on the consent calendar.
Yes.
thank you. Okay, that brings us to the next item on the agenda under regular business. We have a presentation from an outside agency, Horizon Heights.
Mayor, I'm sorry. The ceremonial item is a proclamation for Hope in the Valley, the 1-year anniversary.
There we go. Good. I'm sorry. My printed version was a little bit different, so,
That we didn't get the information till after those copies had been provided to you.
okay, thank you so much. Okay, so we have a ceremonial item, the reading of a proclamation. Here on City Council, what we do is, we rotate, opportunity to read these, proclamation, and tonight, Councilman, Carson is going to be, reading the proclamation. So if we have anyone here, with Hope in the Valley, if you would like to come up to the podium, he'll read the proclamation and then we'll come down and present it, but we'll give you an opportunity to say a few words if you like. So, yeah, you might.
Good evening. I don't have my glasses, so if I mix up some words, I apologize. But whereas Hope in the Valley opened in July 2024, providing high-quality, compassionate treatment to nearly 600 individuals, and whereas Hope in the Valley has helped clients to overcome addiction, mental health struggles, and life instability, and whereas Hope in the Valley has been instrumental in removing barriers to care, offering services to many individuals who lacked insurance or could not afford treatment. And whereas through a commitment to equity, accessibility, and trauma-informed practices, the center has made recovery a reality for those often left behind. And whereas in its first year, the center has forged strong collaborations with local schools, courts, law enforcement, hospitals, social service agencies to deliver wraparound care and holistic solutions for clients and families. And whereas the program's impact includes reducing recidivism, improving long-term recovery outcomes, and promoting public health access to the region. And whereas this program would not be possible without the vision and dedication of key leaders who have made the work possible, including Paul K. Reed, who has the leadership and steadfast commitment to building an effective and ethical treatment program from the ground up and supporting everyone in their path to recovery. Justin Luke Riley, who had tirelessly advocated operational excellence and passion for creating a safe space for healing, treatment, and recovery. And Kimberly Reed, who had compassionate care, client-centered approach, and provides ongoing contributions to program development and staff support. And whereas these individuals' leadership, courage, and integrity have led this organization and have been the heart of Hope in the Valley. And whereas Hope in the Valley looks to its second year, the organization remains committed to expanding access, deepening its impact, and continuing to serve as a trusted partner in the region's response to the behavioral health crisis. Now therefore, let it be resolved that the City Council of Alamosa does hereby recognize Hope in the Valley for their successful efforts and congratulates them on their one-year anniversary of life-changing community service. In witness whereas, this is stamped over, and cause the seal of Alamosa to be affixed 6th day of August, 2025. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words or anything or comment before we come down and present it to you?
Just real quick, I'd like to thank the city of Alamosa, Mayor Coleman, and some of you that came out to our one-year anniversary celebration. We had a really good community turnout. One of the big things that we're emphasizing, and I'll let David quickly speak to this, is just creating a community of recovery here in the valley where people are focused on recovery. This morning, we talked about it a little bit, that for a long time, recovery was individual and it kind of seemed like it was underground, right? They kind of frowned on people that were in recovery or going through addiction or struggles. And now we're really shifting systems to adjust to that, where those people don't have to fight in that struggle alone. They have systems of care, right? We're trying to change things in jails, in the juvenile or in the judicial system so that they're helping people to get better and to recover, which then contributes to a healthy community, and really couldn't do it without the support of the city here in Alamosa. And so we thank you guys for that and coming out to that one-year anniversary. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Just real quickly, I just want to thank you as a community engagement coordinator for Hope in the Valley, especially Mayor Coleman for speaking at that one-year anniversary. And moving into our second year, our theme for the year really is to create a climate of treatment and a culture of recovery, and that extends to really all residents of Alamosa, normalizing sobriety, normalizing a recovery journey that comes with lapses and relapses, but that is a steady journey moving towards full sobriety. And in that, I want to announce that starting this Tuesday, the 12th, we are going to have what we're calling an all recovery meeting, which is open to members of AA, Celebrate Recovery, Outreach, Overcomers Outreach, any kind of programs that are working towards sobriety, Al-Anon, not just for those who are recovering from substance abuse, but for those who are affected by substance abuse. What we have neglected in our community is the family and friends of people who have to watch others suffer with substance abuse. So our next initiative for this year is to be better about reaching that community as well, because it is the disease of substance abuse really does impact more than just the person that is afflicted by the addiction. So again, this is not possible unless the city of Alamosa has our back with this, and we have really felt that presence. So we do thank you.
Thank you. And I'll just say one comment. Were you going to say anything?
Just want to say that I am pretty new to this community, but I am honored to be working in it and helping us have a recidivization level go down, as well as just connecting to everybody in this community because it's important. I came in here with no connections and I made some amazing, beautiful connections in this sober community that we're trying to build. I think is going to be an amazing thing for our community here that I am now planted in and rooted in. So I'm grateful to be allowed to work with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilor Hensley.
I just want to say, wow. When this first started and it was sort of a seed, and it was one of those things I thought, oh my gosh, all the hurdles, and is this really going to be able to come to fruition? And similar to what was said, all the hard work that's made this happen, and we needed it so bad. And I'm sure like everyone else, I've definitely had this come very close to my family, both family members and friends, and always wish there was something like this. And so just want to thank you. And obviously the new things that you're thinking about and moving forward with, but you've come into our community and made a huge difference right off the bat. And so just want to thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Jackie V. Hill.
So I just wanted to say, I mean, this was a service in our community that was needed a long time. And I'm so excited to see it here just because of the fact that, you know, when I was working where I was working, I mean, people would have to go to Pueblo Springs, Denver for treatment. And it's exciting, and I think it's better for the people here because they don't have to make that decision to go somewhere. And I think that was the hardest thing for people that had those kind of, those type of issues, is making that decision to leave the valley and leave their family. So I applaud you guys for bringing this service to the valley. We, well needed.
Okay. Counselor, Carson?
Good work, guys. You know, it's, there's not a lot more that I can say, besides that. What I've heard on the street, people that have been at the program, people that are working with people in the program, people that have family in there. It's nothing but positive news, positive statements. And like everyone said, this has been needed for a while. So just keep moving forward and keep the good work up. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Okay, and then I'll wrap things up, but I first have to mention that our police chief was there as well. And really appreciate seeing him at that event as well. And I know the community members and you all enjoyed just having his presence there and him making his comments and interacting with the crowd as well. I was really touched by the testimonies. I believe many of you gave testimonies, and I believe that we have to, as a city, we're gonna have to find a way to remove the stigma. And I think that's the biggest challenge that we have, because the people who are going through these, they don't need the stigma, they need love, and they need peace, and they need understanding, and they need hope, and they need organizations like yours to give them the tools and resources that they need to get well. So I just want to thank you for what you're doing. Keep up the great work, and we appreciate you. So we're going to come down there and we'll present this this proclamation to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, right, the Heights. All right. Okay, all right, we'll move on down the agenda. The next thing we have is a presentation from outside agency, Horizon Heights update.
Thank you, council. I'm at the age where I can't see my paper with my glasses on or you with my glasses off, so please bear with me. Um, Hello, I'm Dawn Melgares with the San Luis Valley Housing Coalition, or SLVHC, and I'm here to provide you with the annual Horizon Heights status update. I want to start with some information about the project that the council probably already knows, but everybody in the community may not. Horizon was built using a non-housing funding grant, which allowed the city to partner with SLV Behavioral Health Group and SLVHC to provide housing stability. 20 buildings were constructed in what I call record time for housing. Of these buildings, one is a laundry room offering 4 sets of coin-operated equipment with our maintenance office next door. 4 of the buildings are 2-bedroom units, which are just around 550 square feet, and 15 of the buildings are 1-bedroom units, which are just under 350 square feet. These homes are very small, think hotel with the bedroom separated, but they have everything the residents need. They include a full-size bathroom, kitchen, living room, bedrooms. Bathrooms are fully ADA accessible in the 1 bedrooms with walk-in showers, and the 2 bedrooms have tubs with the anticipation of children. All kitchens have soft close cabinets, a Lazy Susan, stove, fridge, hood vents, and everything you would need to be comfortable. Bedrooms can fit full-size beds with plenty of room for dressers, or a tighter fit with a queen-size bed. We even had one resident put a king-size bed that went wall to wall. He had to climb over it from the door, but he made it work. The 2-bedroom homes have larger living rooms with anticipation of more people, as well as the 2nd bedroom. Our first move-in was August 15th of 2024, so almost a year ago. And we have had a move-in just about every other month as residents find permanent housing outside of Horizon. We are currently working to fill 2 of our 2-bedroom units and anticipate 2 1-bedroom units being available towards the end of the month. Vacancies happen more often here because we only do 6-month leases, and we are happy to let people out of their leases when they find permanent housing. Residents can renew these leases up to 3 times for a total of 2 years on site, but the ultimate goal is to help find that permanent housing solution that meets their needs at any time. This can be rent-assisted housing. Some have moved to units in the mobile home park, market rate housing, and others have just been able to save enough money to go home, wherever home is. We have had 109 applications, 80 of them approved, 15 denied, with only 2 taking us up on our offer to go through an appeals process to look at their backgrounds at a more personal level. 14 have been withdrawn due to lack of communication or that they have found other housing while they were waiting. Of the 80 approved, 29 have already moved into the property, which leaves us with 51 currently on our waiting list. Most of those are for 1-bedroom units. Of those that have moved in the past, moved in the past year, 13 have moved out. 10 of those have been what we call successful move-outs for various reasons, but mostly into permanent housing. 2 moved back home, like mentioned before, because they were able to afford a savings due to the affordability of the units. 4 moved into rent-assisted housing, either with the Housing Coalition or housing authorities. One of those moved within 6 weeks of moving in because he could be found. He went from homelessness to an address, and they could finally find him. 1 became a homeowner. 1 was able to find additional resources that helped them with personal needs, and 2 moved into market rate housing. 2 of them moved through the eviction process for varying reasons, and unfortunately, 1 passed away of natural causes. We have 2 more leaving this month, and both of them are on positive notes, just like what you've heard. Tenants have received services from La Puente, SLV Behavioral Health Group, CRP, Tucasa, Veteran Services, ATC, Hope in the Valley, and other organizations from around the valley to not only help them find stability in housing, but also other aspects of their lives. We have seen single-person households, single parents, veterans, couples with and without children, those with ADA accessibility needs, including being wheelchair-bound, who often struggle to find housing in our community, those with minor justice involvement, some in addiction recovery, but all are just people who needed a second chance that was affordable to help them find and maintain their stability. For the most part, those living at Horizon Heights has become a family. You often see them standing in the streets visiting, taking a needed household supply to a neighbor, or even those with cars giving those without cars rides to appointments or work. It's not all perfect, and we never promised it would be. So we have had a few issues, like Many low-income households, they live in homes that often need their windows plastic during the winter time. However, these buildings were so well built, when they put the plastic up, it held the moisture in and it caused some issues, but we're working through those. It just goes to the well construction of the buildings themselves. The grass did not grow after the winter, did not come back. So unfortunately, the tenants won't have beautiful grass until next year, but it is something we are working on. The units did not get designed with closets due to their small size. And what we provided was like a movable closet. So however they laid out their bedrooms, the closet could be moved. However, those do end up damaged or missing with almost every move out. So they are having to be replaced regularly. And then we do have a couple of guests or community members who do not live on property and do not qualify to live on property that do like to come and just sit in our streets and try to use the property to their benefit. And many of them have been trespassed already. The one I hear about the most from our tenants is that mosquitoes and stray animals have made Horizon Heights home this summer. We even had a fox that came and visited almost nightly until the property was full. But the residents often mention how grateful they are that mosquito control comes through once a week and sprays so they can enjoy the outdoors. Some positives that our residents really appreciate is that we're pet friendly, not just service and emotional support animals. All residents have an access to the case manager through the SLV Behavioral Health Group that helps connect them with services if they wish to use that, which is part of the funding that built this project. Housing is affordable with rent at $125 for a 1-bedroom and $575 for the 2-bedroom, which includes the city services, water, trash, and sewer. Tenants pay their electricity, but with how well the buildings were made, that even in the wintertime, not one person saw a heat bill over $100. Most of them were around $50 a month, and some even lower. We have not done any rent increases yet. We are just now doing our 1-year review of the financials, and it's looking positive that if there's an increase, it will be minimal. But right now we're looking that there may not be a need for an increase at the 1-year mark. Many of our residents have found stable employment, have been able to purchase vehicles or attend the much needed services that we mentioned earlier due to close walking distance to those services like behavioral health group and others in the area. Units provide them with just what they need to get stable, but are small enough to keep them looking for that next stage of housing, which was the intended purpose. And other services like the Freedom Wagon and another transportation van that I still haven't figured out where they're from yet have made permanent daily stops at Horizon to help the residents as well get back into town. We're very transparent with APD about any issues that arise on property and provide immediate access to the amazing camera system that the city installed out there. And this has helped APD make fast determinations on events as they are happening because our staff will come and meet them 24/7 when an issue arises to help them review cameras. Overall, this project has been highly successful. The average housing has an 80% success rate for residents, and Horizon is just over 90% currently. This is like the eviction versus positive move out rates. Tenants are respectful and follow guidance well. They continue to work with the services that provided their references, and many find additional services to work with that will help them find permanent housing before their 2-year term is up. SLVHC has been honored to be part of this project and hopes someday it can be expanded or duplicated in other areas of the valley. We have shown it off too many times to count to other communities looking for similar solutions to housing and homelessness all around the state. This collaboration with the City of Alamosa, the Homeless Coalition, SLV Behavioral Health Group, and the many other organizations involved in providing the thinking outside the box to this housing solution has proven to be successful. SLVHC looks forward to providing many more updates to City Council about Horizon Heights, and we thank you for selecting us as your management partner. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Wow, okay, good deal. I'm quite sure our council members are gonna have some questions for you. I'll start off with I'll start off with Ms. Sanchez and then we'll go to council.
I want to take this opportunity at the almost 1 year anniversary. This was a leap of faith type of situation. This is a project we had no experience in, no background, but we knew we had a crisis and we knew we needed to try to figure something out. And I just want to congratulate council first for taking that leap of faith and recognizing how much pain some of our community members were in because of the housing crisis, and realizing that this is something our community could come together and figure out. And it took a lot of political strength because there was pushback and there was a lot of fear mongering out in the community. And I just want to congratulate you for taking that leap of faith. And Dawn, I just want to thank you for being our partner, because we wouldn't have landed on our feet taking that leap of faith if you weren't there every step of the way and managing it now with your whole team. And it really was a community project that made this happen, and that's looking at the success that it's seeing right now. And so I just wanted to share that little bit of information.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchez. Counselor Jan Vigil.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any questions, but Heather stole a lot. What I wanted to say is just a huge thank you to you and your team and to us as City Council for taking a chance. And we know that there's a housing crisis, and all 7 of us up here, along with staff, have stepped up to the plate and addressed housing in a variety of fashions across the city. And this was one of those chances that we took, and it's working. And it's a success story, and I'm glad the paper's here to write about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Jan Vigil. Ms. Sanchez.
I'd also be remiss if I didn't thank our former construction manager, Steve Copley, who helped design and ensure that construction project, when the grant timeline got cut, I don't know how he did it, but he got us through that. And then, of course, Harry played a role as well. So I definitely don't want to forget to thank him.
Yes, thank you. Okay, Counselor Liz Hensley.
So I have the unique privilege, because being the president of the Housing Coalition Board and then being on City Council, and just how great our city is and our community members, because to see it from the Housing Coalition side, and that, yes, we're gonna make this happen, and Dawn is phenomenal. And for her to do what she did, obviously we supported it from both angles, from a city perspective, but a board perspective. But like you said, having those people in place that have this vision and are not going to stop till it happens. So I wanted to thank you, Dawn, for all you've done, but also the city, like you say, Steve Copley, everybody who did everything they did. And it's that idea of having creative, innovative ideas and going forward with them. And I know moving forward, we'll have more of those as well. So great job.
Thank you.
Counselor Carson.
Dawn, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
I mean, in general, you've just kicked butt. So many projects. This is an awesome project. And, you know, I can't repeat what everybody else has said up here. I'm not a big pat myself on the back person, so I'm not doing all that. I'm just kidding. No, but the staff and the city did, you know, they took a chance. We got beat up a little bit, but more than anything, you've been at the helm and you've done great there. You've done great at Mobile Sentry. I don't care, you know, you hear static, you hear all this different stuff, but just in general, you've done great. The project with Boyd, to me, that's near and dear. I mean, I still, you know, talk to Haley about the stories of it being haunted, where she sees somebody in the wall, in the window at the end. You know, that building's in our neighborhood. The Housing Coalition helped me buy my house, you know what I mean? And so it's a great program. And you've done great with it. And you know, so it's huge. And so keep going, keep rocking and rolling. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will. We have no desire to stop anytime soon.
We can't, you got too many,
We can't now.
things on the stove now.
Hey, Don, looks like I'm going to wrap things up here. I want to thank you and your team for the wonderful collaboration that you have with the city and the community. It's so, makes you feel so good to know that we have housing that addresses not only the housing needs, but also the wraparound services needs that people need in order to move on from housing. In your report, you spell out how people transition from the temporary housing that the Horizon Heights provide to different other forms of housing, which creates more opportunities for people who are unhoused to get housed. So that is amazing. Keep up that great work. The other thing you mentioned was about the tours of people coming into town to see the examples of what you're doing and your team are doing at Horizon Heights. I remember we brought that group from Boulder, Colorado. They came all the way from Boulder just to go and see when you and Steve Copley was out there and gave them a tour. This is just the beginning of those tours happening because success breeds success, and other bigger cities who are not able to get a good grip around the homeless and housing shortage needs, they can come to towns like ours and see the things that we're doing and implement them across the state. So really thankful for that. And then earlier last week, I believe I had an opportunity to hang out with Deacon, Rachel, and you in a meeting with DOLA. I believe that's who the meeting was with.
Division of Housing.
The Division of Housing. I was with the Dream Team. I mean, I was riding the bench, but they were really doing a great job presenting and talking about all of the housing things that we have going on and the opportunity for funding. So want to thank you for that. And one last thing, I saw your mom. I was bragging about you to your mom when I met her. And guess what she told me? She told me to tell you that, and she let me know that she taught you everything you know.
Well, just because we're on the record, I will agree with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
All right, have a
It was
good one.
Great meeting.
All righty. Brings us to the next item, advisory board appointments.
So we have two committees that have positions open. The first is the Main Street Advisory Committee. There are three positions available: the property owner position, the hospitality industry position, and the youth representative position. Currently, our at-large representative, Aaron Miltenberger, has agreed to move into the property owner representative, which has opened the at-large representative. Council will need to vote to appoint Aaron Miltenberger into the property owner representative, and then using your ballots, vote to appoint one of the new applicants into the at-large position.
Yeah, we wanted a clarification on that. The question was under that advisory committee, there was an opening for someone who was in hospitality. And we're not for sure if these applicants are.
So these applicants only are for the at-large representative.
Okay. Was that the question?
So I'll move to have Aaron Miltenberger switched from owner to.
At large.
Sorry, at large to owner. I apologize.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, let's please vote on that one first.
Councilor Dominguez,
Yes.
the motion carried unanimously.
Hey, Councilor Yonville has a clarification question.
Just a clarifying question, thank you, Mayor, is,
Welcome.
we interviewed a gentleman tonight for the planning commission, and he doesn't have a ballot, is he just automatically in?
So we're not doing the planning commission today. We are only addressing the Main Street Advisory and the Advisory Board.
Why?
I don't know if the city clerk has another interview or what, so we can get back to you. But she probably has a reason for not having it scheduled.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
And then once you have your ballots filled out for the Main Street, you can pass them and I will do a count.
Thank you.
Council has voted to, excuse me, has voted to appoint Kaylee Romero as the at-large representative for the Main Street Advisory Committee. Next, we have the Recreation Advisory Board. There are two positions available, one regular and one non-voting youth representatives. All the applicants are eligible for just the one regular position. So please enter your votes.
We'll just let the record reflect that Counselor Jamie Dominguez has abstained from voting.
Thank you.
Council has decided to appoint Mark Buck as the representative for the Recreational Advisory Board.
Okay, thank you. Do we need to follow with any type of motion or anything? Eric?
Yes, so we would ask a motion to approve the two that were successfully appointed as to those positions.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, please start voting. Okay,
The motion carried unanimously. Counselor Dominguez?
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously.
so just for clarification purposes, since Councilmember Dominguez abstained,
Well, he abstained from voting on the applicants, but it's appropriate for him to vote on approving the slate as approved by council.
okay, all right, just wanted to clarify, thank you. All right, that brings us to the next item on the agenda. Brought to us is going to be Parks and Recreation Library. We have Andy coming up. First item is the discussion of the drag story time at the Alamosa Public Library.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. So here to discuss a library program with you, an upcoming program. This is not a action item. This is just a drag story time program. And the reason we're brought it up tonight is that we've seen across the country that this has been a very polarizing issue and caused lots of public feedback on it. So we just wanted to educate you on why we're intending to have this program. And Maria was going to be on tonight. I don't know if she's on Zoom, but if she's not.
Can you
she's
hear
here.
me?
Yeah.
Yes,
So she'll
I
be
am
our
here.
point person for any discussion, but certainly I or Heather can also answer questions on it should you have any.
And then Maria, before we go any further, your camera's not on. Is that on purpose?
That is on purpose. I spent most of the day walking around Valley Forge, so I
Okay.
am not in a good state to be seen.
Okay, we just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure. So I'm not sure between you and Andy who's kind of going first. So I'll turn it over.
Well, I'll turn it over to Maria then.
All right. So recently, SLV Pride approached us with an invitation to partner on presenting a drag story time in the library. A little background on how programs are chosen. When a community partner approaches me with an idea for a program, I check it, how it relates to the library's mission, how it relates to our values, whether it has some relevance and interest to the community. And in this case, there is a law that comes into play, which I will talk more about in a moment. So first of all, the library's mission is to inform, educate, and culturally enrich the population of Alamosa and the San Luis Valley. And under our values statement, our very first item is that we value intellectual freedom and the diverse perspectives of our community. These are on the library website if you want to consult them. So believing that a drag story time fit very well with our mission and values, I thought about its relevance to our community, and I believe that relevance is demonstrated by the existence of SLV Pride itself. They have been putting on events for years now. I see some members of Pride in the audience. I'm not sure how many years. Was that a 3?
So Maria, we don't do a back and forth with the
Oh, I'm sorry.
audience. That's okay.
I was
Thank you.
hoping to phone a friend, but they've been putting on the events for a decent amount of time. So clearly there's interest from many people in events like these. I consulted with the library board and they were unanimously in favor. And about the law. So there is a law that passed last year. This is SB 24-216. And that law prohibits a public library from excluding a program based purely on ideological, political, or religious disagreement with its contents. Eric and I both believe that this law comes into play here, which would mean that the library would need to have a totally separate reason to not put on this program. But as I believe I've shown, it is in accord with our mission, our values, and our community. So I believe there's no reason not to proceed. Eric, would you like to talk a little bit more about the law?
No, and not unless council has questions, but I will just, yeah, I guess I talked myself into talking.
Need that. We don't need that. I just have a question.
He has a question.
Okay.
Actually, I wasn't even gonna ask any questions, but Maria brought up something that kind of concerned me a little bit. So Maria, sounds like you're the one that made this call, so I have to ask you if a group approaches you to do a Christian book story time, do you believe that would fit within that same framework?
I absolutely do.
You do?
This law is very kind of equal in its protections, which is one thing I personally really like about it. So yeah, denying a Christian group based solely on their religion would be illegal.
No, I'm just asking if you would be okay with that framework as well, and you would take that to the library board and get that approved.
I absolutely would.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Council Carson. Thank you. Okay.
I would just want to provide just a little bit of details as well. So the program is scheduled for 6 p.m. on August 29th, and a parent or guardian attendance is required for anyone under the age of 18. And then Andy, I didn't know if there was any other details you wanted to add either, and we're here for questions.
Just illustrating that that's outside the regular children's story time hour. This is a special program for those who choose to attend or not.
Okay, so I don't see any other lights on. Any questions or comments? Counselor Jackie Vito.
I think it's a personal choice of people to attend or not. I see no problem in it. I think would be discriminatory if we did not do this because it's been requested. And so I see no problem.
Okay, Counselor Hensley.
I guess I would concur. Even to the point, I'm going to be honest, when this was put on the agenda and I was reading this, I kind of didn't, and I guess in my mind was like, why is this even coming to us? Because this just seemed like any organization that wants to be at the library and have special time and things like that, it should be allowed. So I was even sort of like, why are we making a special, look at this? So anyway, so I do support this as well.
Counselor Krebs.
Thank you, Mayor. I understand the why it's coming before council because of national attention to this issue and how some other communities have responded to it. And so I appreciate it coming before council so that we can all hear all the same information and being able to have those talking points go out into the community. Having said that, I'm not even going to be political. I wholeheartedly support this, 110%. I feel books are a mirror, a window, and a door where whoever's listening or reading the book can either see themselves, see others around them, or be able to participate in that world and understand more about it. So having said that, I look forward to this event, and I thank Maria for taking the appropriate steps to make sure that everyone's safe during it. And thank you.
Okay, I don't see any other lights on, but I just would like to commend our city staff, attorney, also, city manager and, city council. We have a history of meeting things up front and being transparent and open and trying to be fair and caring and understanding. And it's really good that our Parks and Rec department, really thought this through and, also is sharing this with council because we pride ourselves on trying to make sure that we have a city that welcomes difference of opinions and views and thoughts and viewpoints and things like that so that others can learn from others. So thank you so very much. Thank you. Okay, we don't need to do anything, right? Okay, thank you. Okay, that brings us to the next item on the agenda, Development Services, the first reading and introduction of ordinance number 16-2025, an ordinance annexing the Alamosa County Coroner's Building to the city of Alamosa.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This new format still has me a little bit confused sometimes. I was like, where's the patron behavior? Okay, so this is the first reading, as you mentioned, of the Alamosa County Coroner's Annex to the city of Alamosa. Really, the story behind the story is if you want city services, you got to annex. This property is conforming with all state statutes, all city adopted codes and plans. Our 3-mile plan meets all the requirements. The proposed zone is the industrial zone, which is appropriate with the surrounding uses. It's also compatible with our 3-mile plan. And with that, happy to answer any questions, but staff fully supports the annexation.
Okay. Don't see any mics on, so Councilor Yardley Hill.
Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 16-2025 and set it for a public hearing on August 20th at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter.
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? If not, please start voting.
Counselor Dominguez,
Yes.
the motion carried unanimously.
Okay,
Thank
thank you. Thank you. That brings us to the next item on the agenda, committee reports. Do we have any committee reports?
I have some.
Okay, we have one by Councilor Krebs.
Thank you, Mayor.
Welcome.
Just some very quick ones. The senior center, their annual yard sale is coming up August 16th. And so they have lots of good stuff. I urge everyone to go and check it out. And on a side note, they are starting to have some night activities for members that work during the day to try and be inclusive for all the members at the senior center. And so you'll start seeing some nighttime presentations pop up about once a month. Council of Governments and DRG, the Council of Governments spoke about the next steps for the GIS work that they've been doing, and it's moving right along. They're getting ready into their phase 2. And for DRG, they helped a few more businesses with some loans, and their enterprise zone paperwork is getting finalized shortly, so they'll be able to actually help more nonprofits in the area as soon as that happens. And then Alamosa Creates is busy planning for the upcoming Art Fest, September 12th and 13th. So I urge everyone to come out to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Krebs. Okay, I don't have any other lights on up here, so we'll go to staff announcements.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few quick reminders of some upcoming events. This Friday, August 8th, starting at 2:30 at Cole Park is the National Night Out City Services Fair. So really excited to host that at Cole Park and have the community come and see what city services are available and connect with law enforcement. Next week, we also then have on August 14th at 5:30, the employee barbecue. So if you have not RSVP'd, shoot me a quick email and I can get you signed up tomorrow. There is going to be what I anticipate a fairly competitive cornhole competition. My partner's my son, so I don't know how competitive I will be, but anyways, that's not to knock him. He just doesn't pay attention very often. But we do have several teams signed up, and we do expect some good competition, and it's always a great time for employees and their families to just relax and be around each other. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so do we have to sign up if we're on a team if council?
You would need to let me know, and if you don't have a partner, we can try to pair you with someone. And if you want to name yourself, your team, you can name your team as well.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure we can get a piece of that.
Winner's name.
I have no idea.
Okay, thank you, Heather. Okay, that brings us to council comments. Yes, Councilor Krebs, Councilor Yanvio next.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to take this moment to officially announce that I am running for City Council for Ward 2. So,
Okay, thank you. It's on the records. Councilor Yanvio.
Thank you, Mayor. I have two things. The first is just want to, one of our own, Councilor Dominguez is going through some things right now, and just publicly, so you know, Mr. Dominguez, that we're all praying for you and your family and your daughter and thinking of you. And if any support you guys need, just please reach out. And then secondly is I also am officially announcing that I'm going to run for reelection. I started 12 years ago as a no-name and no one thought I could win. And I shocked the political game here in Alamosa 12 years ago, and I ran on just getting things done. And I really feel like over the last 12 years, with this team up here, we've gotten a lot done and we've moved this city forward in all aspects of life. And I'm ready to go for another 4 years. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we don't have any other comments, but I just would like to encourage all the kids who are about to start back to school. I think school will start by the time we have our next meeting, and I just hope that they all get all the tools and things that they need to be successful this year, including the university as well. So that's all we have. This meeting is adjourned.